So this is the Novation Circuit Tracks. Stick around to find out why I bought it to improve my filmmaking. What am I gonna do now? Yo, what's up? My name is Mike. Welcome to my channel. So as a filmmaker and a musician, I've kind of always struggled with how easy it is to have a subscription service and just drag dope music into my videos. Like, obviously, that makes the videos better to have awesome music, but every time in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking like, man, I should really put my own music in here. The struggle that I had with doing that originally was that in order to build a song for a video, it just makes the video creation process like 10 times longer than it is when you just drag in somebody else's music. Not to mention that all these online music services have curated music, and it's just really great value. You don't pay very much to get really excellent music. But that doesn't change the fact that I still feel like I should have my own music in my videos. And that's where this little device comes in. So I've been looking for some sort of portable device that I can use to kind of travel around with and make my own beats on my way to work, when I'm sitting in the park, wherever I go, so that I can incorporate them into my videos later. And I think this thing is the answer. The Novation Circuit Tracks. So I'm no stranger to Novation. I've used the Launchpad Pro here as my main MIDI controller for Ableton for a number of years now, and I love it. It's just, as a drummer, I really like the tactile feel of these pads and to be able to finger drum. And then there's also a note mode where you can set it to whatever scale you want it, and you can't play a wrong note. I mean, it's a godsend for people who don't know that side of music. And the Circuit Tracks is very similar in the way that you're making music with these pads, but it's not a keyboard. So I'm not really a keyboard player. Like I said, I'm a drummer. So I really like to be able to tap on these pads. And anyone else who creates music will know that it really makes a difference, the quality of the pads. And I can tell you, these pads feel great when you're tapping on them, creating beats or whatever. So this isn't going to be a full featured review of the Circuit Tracks. I'm not a synth guy. I'm not going to be the best person to give you that kind of information, but I will just quickly run down what it is. So basically what this is a synthesizer and a sequencer built into one package. But the beauty thing about it is it's so easy to get something laid down and to be making music. And it's exactly what I've been looking for, to be able to put my own stamp on my videos. Alright, so in a foolish attempt to prove how easy this thing is to use and to make music with, I'm just going to start a fresh project and build a song with it, and then that'll demonstrate what the thing is. So I'll start a new project here, so we got synth 1, and you can pick from any of these presets. Synth 2, and then you got a drum track. There's actually 4 drum tracks, and they're all the same, and then the sequencer is on the top, the drums are on the bottom, and you'll see why it's so great that they're separated like that in a second here. So first, let's try to find a bass synth here, something we can use for a bass line. Ooh, I like that. Okay, but first, actually, I need to lay down a drum track so I have a tempo. Here we go. Find a nice bass drum. That's nice. So here's the sequencer. You can just punch these in like this. Nope, that's not right. Go to the synth. Okay, and we'll just record this straight in. A side chain to get that bumping a little bit. All right. And we got all these effects up here that I can add into it. And I just recorded that oscillator into the hi-hats. And so here, I'll just stop this for a second. So remember when I said it's really neat that the drums are on separate tracks. So that kick drum is where I'm side chaining, is what I'm side chaining into the synth. So I can side chain either the snare drum, like any of the drum tracks, but it's the whole drum track. And that basically just, every time that drum hits, the synth kind of ducks under it, and it gives it kind of a nice wobble to it. And so that's why, so it's kind of nice to have your kick separated from your snare so that you can duck under the kick and keep the snare going. So let's go back to this. That hi-hat's kind of gross. Turn it down here. So we got a mixer. I can turn off whatever I want. Like it's, you can mute the tracks, or you can have a volume up above. And so the other thing I haven't really explained here is all of these knobs up top, they all have different parameters for the synths or the drums, and so it kind of makes it really almost fun to tinker with the sounds. As somebody who doesn't really know what a filter envelope is, I can go in here to synth 2, play it around, and then see what that envelope does. Or this oscillator mod. And it's just kind of really fun to tinker around with. Let me go back to the track here and we'll add one more synth. This synth is really gross, so let's add a scale. And these are all just the presets. And not only are these the presets, but you can also go in on the program and edit the synth, the wavetable, to your heart's content with these. And so there's polysynth. There's a bunch of synth words. Throw them in here now. I'm not a synth guy, but it is. I have been very happy with the synth sounds I've been getting. So let's just use that guy. Make that sound a little bit different, add some resonance here, kind of get it. just one block of patterns, and now I can start a new pattern for that drum, say the kick beat. Double up its length and I'll duplicate that. You can hear that synth really ducking under the... And I haven't even shown you the effects on top of this. So then there's also some reverb and delay. I'll add a ping pong onto that second synth track. Maybe some reverb. The snare drum, I'm going to take up the resonance of it to really make it pop out. And then I'll turn down the low pass, sorry. And then you can really kind of mess with this stuff. Okay, yeah, I could go on forever. But there's also 2 MIDI channels, and that's to be able to control your other synths that have MIDI ins. So just as an overview there, I think you can get the point from that, how deep and how fun it can be to make your own music for your own videos. So, I mean, the simplicity of the design of this thing, and the fact that there's no screens to look at makes it feel like it's an instrument you're playing rather than some sort of recording device. It's kind of everything that I've been looking for in order to make music on the go to use for my videos. Transition. And just like that, the sun comes out. I got to go for a ride anyways. Hey, if you're still watching this, you got something out of this video, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Maybe consider subscribing. And until next time, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.